besties. Okay, so I really wanted to do another round of Maxis CAS sims because I feel like they need it. And like they always pop up in CAS, so like I might as well actually have like made over versions of them. Especially because like I like to just sort of put them into like new saves that I have so that my sim has like more options of like people to know that actually look good off the bat. Like it's actually so nice. And so our first sim is Emiko Mori, and let me read her like household description. To Emiko, duality is a lifestyle. She's both cutesy and rebellious, sweet and tough. Her pastimes include playing with dolls, doing makeup tutorials online, chasing the flower bunny, who she adores, and throwing the best parties. Technology is an important aspect of Emiko's life, especially since her childhood best friend Valeria Lopez moved away from Japan at a very young age. It's allowed them to keep in touch. So, I tried to balance, like, I don't know, cutesy and like rebellious together, because clearly that's the vibes that they wanted for her. And it took me like 1,000 years to decide on like a hair for that, because I just always have that struggle. I will never choose a hair in a reasonable amount of time ever. And so I also wanted to like show like duality, and I wanted something that I could do that with. And so I eventually settled for like the really cute little bob from Another Green Leaf. I'm pretty sure that's who made it. And it has like clips that it comes with that are very cute. But there was a clip, like a skull clip from A. Harris O. Brittany. I'm pretty sure that's who made that also. And so I would like switch it out depending on what vibe that particular outfit was. Like if it was cutesy, then I would leave like the clips in. But if it was supposed to be like I don't know, like the edgy one, I would put like the goth clip in. And I think that's cute. I think that's really cute. Also, they made someone who looks entirely too cutesy, like in the face, and like I don't know, like I don't feel like she sells edgy, so I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. But I think I did the best I could with what I had, because I really like all like the townie makeovers. Like I really don't want to change too much of like anything, because that's really not the point, you know? I could just like make my own sims if I wanted them to look a particular way. Like the whole reason of me doing makeovers is to take the sim as is and change slight things that I think need to be changed, and then style them in the way that like matches their personality if they have one, or if they don't, like what I headcanon their personality as. Because I've played The Sims for like what, 10 years now? All 10 years, because I was there. Like I pre-ordered this game. I was literally 13 and super excited. So like I don't like I'm literally a veteran. I am a Sims veteran at this point, I think. So I really wanted to keep like the cutesy outfits really pink, because that's like stereotypical, and then the edgy ones black, because that's also really stereotypical. And I tried to keep semblances of her like old styles like the old outfits when I like redid them, so it would kind of look the same, but like not really. Like sometimes it would, but sometimes it wouldn't. Okay, and then we moved on to Lilo. I think I'm saying that correctly, but I'm sure that I'm probably not saying that correctly. Like, I think that's what they meant to say it as, but I don't know if that's like the way to say his name. But let me read his household description. So, some Sims dream of being a master chef, but not Lilo. He wants to master the art of mixology. Dazzy patrons near and far. Oh, he meant Dazzle, not Dazzy. Whoops. Okay, Dazzle patrons near and far with fantastical drinks, bizarre concoctions, and gift them with the art of his moves. He spent years studying, traveled around the world, experiencing the drinks of different cultures, and he's ready. Oh, he's ready. So, I tried to keep that into consideration, and I made him kind of look a little bit like, I don't know, like a hipster bartender from like 2014, but maybe like 2015, maybe. I feel like those are vibes that I just get from him, and I really wanted to challenge myself, so I was going to do only all female, but last time I didn't do that because I wanted the challenge, and so this time I also didn't do that. But I do only have 2 masculine Sims, so not too much praise, but like, I definitely did challenge myself in terms of like styles and stuff, because I wanted to make him like not quite alternative, but definitely more like hipster alternative, if that makes sense. Like, it's a very particular niche aesthetic that I was going for, and I think that I really like him. Actually, I think I like the way that he like turned out. I think he does give bartender that's like traveled the world and like knows how to like make all different types of drinks. Like, I think that comes through. Well, I hope it comes through. And then we moved on to Aliya Fuego. And originally she was supposed to be Valeria Lopez, who's like emiko's best friend, but like I wasn't feeling her vibe, not gonna lie. So instead, we have Aliya Fuego. And her description reads: fashionista, social climber, party girl, secret genius, all of that outward materialism, it's mostly a persona. Aliya is exclusive when it comes to her private life and goals. Since she was a little girl, she's dreamed of becoming a supervillain, crazy, hidden in plain view within the dazzling spotlight of Del Sol Valley. She has the brains to pull it off, but can she keep it a secret in such a high-stakes environment? So I wanted to sort of balance that. Like, I wanted her to be overly extravagantly dressed for almost all of her outfits. And I don't really know if she gives supervillain, but I think that's like the whole point, you know, like, is that she's not really supposed to give supervillain, and that she's supposed to like keep it like hidden within, because like I have a lot of questions for her, I'm not gonna lie. Like, why as a child did you dream of being a villain? Like, who hurt you? What happened to you? Like, why was that her dream? I don't know. I really don't know. I also think that it's so interesting that there are so many Sims that are like tied to particular expansion packs, or like packs in general, that they've put on like the gallery, that are usually sometimes even in like trailers and stuff, that they just don't put in worlds. Like, that's a little crazy, you know? I feel like, I don't know, like that that just shouldn't be a thing. I feel like all the Sims that were created with like a particular theme in mind should be included in the game somehow. And I don't know if that just means make bigger worlds, hint hint, nudge nudge, but I don't know, like, you know, maybe if we had enough lots, we'd be able to fit all the Sims for a pack in the world. I don't know, crazy. very, very crazy solution, but because she's definitely supposed to be like a get famous celebrity. So why have I never heard of her? And why is she not in the game? Like, does that make sense? I don't think that makes sense. But I wanted her to wear like, and I'm going to misuse this again, I think. I really think that I'm misusing jewel tone. But like, jewel tone, a jewel tone dress, like I wanted her like party wear and her formal wear to be like jewel tones. And I experimented briefly with the thought of giving her like a frosty blue, like ice blue color. Because remember that was like a whole thing from like the previous Townies by Worlds videos lore, is that like the celebrities, like their color this year is like icy blue. And I've been giving like all of the other celebrities like icy blue. And so like I liked it, but I really did prefer the like deep blue color more, so I went with that. And I just think that was the cooler idea. Plus she's supposed to be like a villain, you know, like the darker colors make sense. And it also said that she was a social climber, so I'm thinking she's not like at the top or anything, and I feel like all the people at the top are wearing like icy blue. Like maybe she's like out of the loop, I don't know. But like I do try to think too hard about all of like the Sims outfit choices that I make, because I'm essentially designing a world through Sims, if that makes sense. And so yeah, like I want their fashion decisions to make sense and be like cohesive across like all the different like classes and stuff. And then we move on to Kurt Lumberjackson, who I believe was one of the like test Sims for like growing together in like the live stream. Like I'm pretty sure it was him and like his family, but apparently he was created in 2018. So apparently Kurt comes from an impressive lineage of lumberjacks. While we don't have actual like lumberjackery in The Sims 4, that's weird, but okay, I have my imagination cap on. While forestry is in his blood, his real passion lies in apiculture, or beekeeping. Kurt loves his little bumblebees. He even tried to make a shop selling bee products called Kurt's Bees, like Burt's Bees, but Kurt's Bees. I see what you did there. And it didn't go over super well, probably got like sued. As long as he's stuck in Granite Falls, he knows he will never get out of his family business. So Kurt is off on an adventure beyond his comfort zone to chase his dreams. And I don't know, I like Kurt, you know? Like, I liked the fact that he likes bees. I think that's cute. So I really wanted to give him like a flower or bee sweater for like his everyday wear, but I also didn't want to like strip him of his lumberjackness. So I wanted to keep like the patterns and like any kind of flannel in there because I think that really works. And I liked like the long curly-ish hair vibe for him, so I really wanted to keep that. Like I wanted to keep him looking very lumberjacky. Like they thought it was important, so I think it's important, you know? That's really like the whole point of giving these Sims makeovers. Like I want to know what they like and then base it off of there. And I was experimenting with this random like boxer short that I had that I definitely did not download, but it was definitely from like a sim dump apparently, and none of those spoke to me. None of those felt particularly appropriate for Kurt, so I just, you know, I wasn't feeling it. And I did not choose that. But I did want to keep him like freckly too, because like he'd be out in like the sun and stuff, and like that just made sense. I felt very lumberjack correct. And then we move on to Cat. And Cat, I liked Cat because I see Cat like all the time. Like I've used her as a base sim before, like a bunch. So I really wanted her to be part of this like batch. And so her description reads that quirky, creative, a hopeless romantic, Cat is a sweetheart who has aspirations to chase a career in fashion. Her dark secret, she's obsessed with dinosaurs, which shout out to her because I love dinosaurs too, and other buried secrets. While part of her would like to give up fashion and pursue archaeology, it's a little out of her comfort zone. For now, she's content to collect as many dino curios and fossils. I think it's dino curios actually. What's going on with me today? And fossils as she can and display them around the house, or is she? And so I like Cat, I do, and I wanted her to have some form of dinosaur shirt or sweater, kind of like how I did with Kurt and his like bee interest. Because I like when Sims have like actual interests, you know, like I like when they have personality, and that feels very much like a personality to me. And so I ended up giving her like a dinosaur sweater. And then it sort of turned into like a retro themed vibe for her. And I just leaned right on in, like entirely into that. And, you know, I was okay with that. Very, very cool with that. I think like the bright colors just like screamed retro. And she has like a good face for it, you know? Like I think I'm also just in an era where I will take any excuse to style my sim in like a 60s vibe, but who am I to judge? I just wanted to make over Sims, and I get control over what period I dress them in. It's, you know, it's tough having that much power, but here I am. And I don't know, I just really like it. Like I've been having a good time, and like CC creators have been like enabling me to be able to have a good time making like a retro styled sim, specifically 60s. It's been a really big couple of months for 60s lovers. And so for the next sim, I was initially going, this is where Valeria Lopez was initially going to appear, but I wasn't liking her vibes, and also I wanted to do some of like the OG sims. So Amber, I think anybody who like has been around knows about Amber. Like, she was literally in a trailer that like released before the game dropped. Like, she's a throwback sim, and I always hated her style, so I'm glad that I could really, you know, get a chance to improve things for her, basically. And so her description reads, Amber's a lovable goof who puts a smile on the face of anyone she encounters. As a self-proclaimed comedian, she even manages to practice her set on occasion at local lounges. In fact, that's where she met Armand, which I don't know who that is, but when I hear Armand, I think of the vampire Armand from Interview with the Vampire. So I'm already a little bit jaded. There he was in the audience in one of his moods, which honestly, this really, it feels very Vampire Armand. Like, he's in a theater. Hello, you know, like, anyway, trying to get cheered up. There she was, telling bad jokes on the stage and dancing awkwardly. They immediately hit it off and have been best friends ever since. I have no idea who Armand is. Just gonna put that out there. Not a clue. I must have missed him in like the gallery. Like, he's probably there. I just did not see him. And so I always had a deep hatred for what they did to Amber because I did not like anything about her style. But also it was 2014 and we just had the base game and we were deep in the trenches. There was nothing else we could really do about that aside from download like the same alpha CC like over and over again. There was not that much happening for us in 2014. But there's a lot happening for us now, and I can finally fix what they did. And I actually liked Amber. Like, I liked her face. It needed like the slightest bit of tweaks, but I kept her like bob because I know that that's like a thing that like she had. It was a terrible bob before, but like it's a much better bob now. And I liked her vibe, you know. She was like a comedian. She was chill. She had her own trailer. Like, I don't know, for the people that don't know, she has her own trailer. She has a jingle with her name in it. Like, not too much on Amber, okay? She needed the help. She needed the help real bad because she deserved better. But basically, I did the same thing I do with like all gingers and low-key try to dress them in as much green as possible. Just because like we all know it looks nice. Like, you know, like we don't have to invent new things. It looks really nice. And I don't know, you know, it worked really well. I liked this a lot more. I got to choose outfits that made sense. I had a really good time. Okay, and the next sim is Holly Vindel, who I used to see before, and she's also like an OG sim. The next two are like OG sims, basically. And so Holly likes to daydream about becoming a famous country singer, but in reality she's a down-home southern girl. Like, what does that mean? From sunup to sunset, you'll find her in the great outdoors, typically with a fishing rod in hand. And truly, I know Holly's living it up ever since we got horses. Like, I know that she's having a good time, especially because like I got to actually change like her stuff, like the way that she's styled, because like they were trying with what they had in 2014, but like they didn't even have like a proper like cowboy hat or like anything cowboy-esque at the time. So like I needed to help her basically. She needed assistance. So I gave her like a CC version of the cowboy hats that we got, because I don't really like the shape of the ones that came with Country Living, low-key. Like, I wasn't really feeling it, but like the colors were nice. They just needed assistance. And I gave her like the fun pants and a shirt from one of the CC packs that came out with Country Living, and then the boots. And like I basically just tried to keep her with as much Country Living or like country-esque things that I could find in my CC catalog, because I think again that just made sense for her and like how she wanted to be styled, but we didn't have the ability to do all these things in 2014. So I really wanted to make sure that the last 3 of this batch were like some OG Sims that I did not appreciate the way that they were styled. So I could like right like 10-year-old wrongs, and it made me very happy. I was quite pleased actually because like we didn't have a lot. Like I cannot stress enough, we did not have a lot, and like they were trying to be so creative with like these stories, and like I loved that, but like we did not have the capacity to do the things that they wanted to do at the time. So I'm very, very happy that I got to fix them. Really, like actually fix them, like renovate them in the way that like Lil Simsy talks about like changing Sims. This was really a renovation for these like last 3. The other ones were a makeover. These 3 were definitely a renovation. And the last sim is like a big OG sim. It's Babs Lamore, and she was in like the trailer for The Sims 4. She had like the whole storyline where she was like at a party with like some guy or whatever. I barely remember it. His name was like Ollie or something. And it's been a really long time since I've seen that trailer, I'm not gonna lie. But her description is: Babs' time as a mixologist was the perfect opportunity to meet and date a lot of interesting people that came into and out of her life. Ultimately, she fell in love with Ollie mentioned in 2024. After a picturesque wedding and 3 beautiful children, they couldn't include the kids? Like, hello? Or her husband? But okay, whatever. She found herself wanting a new line of work away from the bar scene. Turns out she's had a talent for writing pent up inside her this entire time. I low-key kind of want to give Babs a family. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that, but like I would like to actually do what they said that she did in her description, because she really does deserve better. But I kind of, for her, right, like I kind of wanted like the Mean Girls mom, like the original, like not the most recent one, but like the Mean Girls, the non-musical one from like the 90s or like early 2000s. That one, like the mom, like those were the vibes, but like not mean, because I don't think Babs is mean, but like dress wise, I think I was sort of channeling that like Y2K white kind of middle class, upper class mom. Not that that's really what Babs is, but like those were the vibes that I wanted, because like her description really wasn't too much about her aside from like the writing thing, but I didn't know how to really like bring that out in terms of dressing. Like I really didn't know how to convey that visually, but this was just more for funsies, and I deserve it, so I did it, and I had a great time doing it, really do, because like Babs was in the trailer, you know, like she deserves a good looking makeover. And these screenshots, I took them in Del Sol Valley because, of course, like these Sims are like low-key celebrities. Either like actually, like in game, or just like in our community, like technically. Like the older Sims are definitely like celebrities. And I just think like it was so pretty. I don't know, it was a very pretty backdrop. I had a good time, and I had a really, really fun time. Like I really can't stress that enough. I love giving like original Sims makeovers because they deserve it, you know? And I have a lot of CC and I can do something with it for good, you know? A superhero, if you will, of CC and CC-ifying Sims. I like to think of that as like my job for these like original Sims that I've like struggled with these terrible looks for 10 years now.